So next thing we want to simulate is somebody's in the water and we got to get them back to the boat. So let's say there's a current or it's windy, or if the person is having trouble swimming. So this here is a throw bag, and it's actually some mandatory safety equipment that you have to have on board most vessels is a buoyant heaving line.
Okay.
So we're going to sort of demonstrate throwing this out to Mike, and you should throw it underhand, and then Mike will be able to come back in with it.
So it's tethered to your wrist?
Yeah, it's tethered to me. Try and throw it a bit behind them, so it's not short. Try and not hit them in the head like I almost did there. Make sure they know it's coming. Getting
pushed in the water, hit on the head, poor guy.
And then you can pull them back into the boat.
And this is good. I mean, we were talking earlier about, whether it's an adult in the water or a kid on the boat or vice versa, you should have different options.
Yeah, like you can see Mike right now is holding on to the swim platform. There's a ladder there, which makes it easy for getting back in a boat. But, some boats don't have this. A lot of the smaller boats don't. So it can be a challenge getting back in the boat yourself. Now, you can buy a ladder that you can manually put over the side. One of the other things people don't think about is, what if an adult falls overboard and it's just the child in the boat? They don't have the strength to pull them back in.
Right.
So we're going to show one example here of what you can do to help the person who sort of tied a rope to the two cleats. And this will allow sort of as a step for Mike to step on and help himself get back in the boat. Now, we may have to give him a hand here, Angie. Hopefully he doesn't pull you in the water.
I know, he wants to get me back now for shoving him in.
And this is sort of gives him an extra hand to get him back into the boat.
Okay. Oh, that's a good idea, just to have that hooked up. That's perfect.
Yeah. And again, something you want to practice in the summer when the water's warm, anchor your boat somewhere where it's shallow. Just practice getting back in by yourself. Another thing that's happened is people are boating on their own and they fall overboard, and either the electric trolling motor is still going or maybe the big engine is still going, and how do you get, back in the boat? So that's one of the other things, if you are operating the engine, you want to make sure that you have your lanyard or your kill switched always attached to you, right? So you got it around your wrist or your PFD, so that if you do fall out and this lanyard pulls off, it'll automatically kill the engine so that your boat doesn't keep going and you're left behind.
Right. Well, and there's kind of a checklist that, they take you through when you're talking about North American Safe Boating Awareness Week, and that is, having that, the operator's card and having, your course, knowing what to do in cold water recovery if that were to happen, not drinking and driving, obviously, which is such a key message, because a lot of these accidents happen because of things like that, carelessness like that.
Yeah, exactly. Leave the beer on the pier, and most of the accidents happen on nice sunny days. It's not necessarily bad weather, and I think it's sort of like when you're in the air, one beer in the air is like 3 on the ground. It's similar to that when you're out on the water, just because of the motion of the water and et cetera, and the sun and dehydration possibly. So you definitely want to leave the beer on the pier, and you can get fines for that depending which province you're in, of course.
Exactly. Okay, Bill, more information to come. BOATERexam.com. You can, of course, get all of this information online as well, and get online and get your operator's card if you have not yet.